Hello, Joy Chasers. I am ARHartie, blogger and joy strategist from chasing-joy.com. This is a TTC update on my journey to get pregnant as a single mom by choice with baby number 2 using a frozen embryo transfer via a sperm donor. I was trying to think how I wanted to say that. So where are we in the process? So I did, if you're new and you haven't been around for the last few months of videos, I have done a mock transfer with an ERA to make sure we get the timing right, because the first go round that resulted in my son, who I call Baby Joy Chaser, I learned that I needed twice as much progesterone as the typical protocol, and I also needed 12 extra hours of progesterone. So we wanted to make sure, that that was still the same, or if it was different, to make note of that, because I have been pregnant now. So women's bodies change, right? So did all that, determined that I still need the two, twice as much progesterone and the 12 extra hours. So we did that cycle, and then I had to lose some weight, which I did lose some weight, but then I kind of pushed back and got them to relax the BMI requirement a little bit. So we got the go ahead to go, and then I got started and immediately had a hiccup. Went for my lining check to get started with the transfer, and I had a cyst, so that pushed everything back a couple weeks. So the last TTC video that you guys saw was that my lining check went well. Well, not my, yeah. It's not really a lining check at that point. It's a baseline. I'm sorry, I'm saying the wrong thing. My baseline had showed a cyst on my left ovary. So the last TTC video you guys saw, where I was going in for a second baseline, and the cyst was still there, but it was no longer making estrogen. So I got the go ahead to go and get started. And so here we are. So for the last 2 weeks, I've been doing estrogen priming. And I don't have a pill to show you guys, but if you look at my old videos, I know I have a video showing you the little teeny blue pill, really small. So with the estrogen priming, the first week, they have me taking 3 pills. I think they start with either 2 pills or 3 pills. I think it's 3 pills orally. And then the second week, they add in taking the pill by vaginal suppository. So it's like 5 pills a day total, 3 by mouth, morning, midday, before bed, and then putting a pill in my hoo-ha. I was typically doing that about 12 hours apart, like mid-morning, where I could kind of lay there for a few minutes to make sure it wasn't going to immediately kind of leak out. And then I would put it in around 10, 11 when I'm laying down for bed. So I just came out of the fertility clinic where they were checking to see if the estrogen priming works. So the point of the estrogen priming, and really the point of all this, I'm doing a frozen embryo transfer and I'm doing a medicated cycle, which means I'm not relying on my body to like ovulate and produce, estrogen and then progesterone and then have them put in embryo. Instead, I was on birth control for what ended up being a month, not just 2 weeks, to quiet my ovaries, which is why they were looking for that cyst. And then once everything is quiet, my body wasn't producing any hormones and stuff on its own, then they are coming in and medically having me replace the hormones with the pill, and then eventually injections, so that everything can be timed really well for the transfer. So the point of the baseline was to make sure everything is quiet, and now the point of the test today was to make sure that the estrogen had done its job and actually started to build up the lining in my uterus, so there'd be nice, I guess, I've heard people call it fluffy, which seems weird, but basically a nice lining of blood and everything for the baby to be nourished by, I guess, once the transfer happens. So before I went in, I was so nervous today. I really woke up not feeling great. If you've been following, you know, well, I've had weight issues my whole life, and I talk a little bit about that in um, the live video I did a few weeks ago. And so this BMI pressure has been a lot on me, and I've been below the BMI. But this last week I wasn't, my weight crept up a little bit, like a pound or so, not significant, but when you're that close to the BMI cutoff, it makes you have anxiety. And so I had nightmare last night. I dreamt that I had come in for my transfer and that they weighed me, and then some administrator had decided that I couldn't have my transfer, and they were trying to hold me to the old BMI. And I had told the doctor, and then the doctor was trying to argue with this administrator through the computer, obviously, because we can't be in person because of COVID. And it was like this young black guy who I'm pretty sure is just like a social media comedian who makes like little satire, little videos. So somebody had seen before, but I don't know this person at all. He is not medical, but in my dream, he was this, really kind of sassy, smart alecky administrator telling me that no, she can't have her BMI and making negative comments on my weight. So I woke up just feeling tired. I'm tired now because even though I slept a long time and I slept good, like I didn't even wake up to go to pee in terms of how many hours, but when I have dreams like that where they're like emotionally, emotional turmoil in a dream, I wake up feeling like I've been going through that all night, and so I feel tired. Like I've been fighting with someone all night because I was fighting with him in that dream. We were arguing, the doctor was arguing, and then my mom showed up in the dream. And you guys know my mom has passed, and I was telling my mom what was happening, and she was like commiserating with me and defending me and all that. So it was just a lot in the dream. And so I woke up not feeling great, and then I was also feeling like, TMI alert, but this is a TTC video, so it's all TMI. But I woke up feeling like really bloated and constipated, and I'm like, this is not what I need to get weighed in, because it'll just make you be heavier because you're not, getting rid of waste like normal. And that's unusual for me. I usually don't have that issue. But for whatever reason today, and possibly just nerves and not sleeping well. So all that to say is it made me be in like kind of a tired and negative state of mind. And then baby Joy Chaser was cranky this morning. He didn't want to brush his teeth. And then we've been watching sight words videos on the way to school because he's learned all his letters. So, trying to prep him for reading. And it was one of the letters, and I was like singing along with the video, and we were at a red light, so I turned around to like look at him and be playful, and he was like, can you turn around, mommy? Can you turn back around? And I was like, you don't want me to look at you? He was like, no. So I just turned around, and I was like, okay, I guess I'm doing too much. Or maybe, your kids are really in tune with you. Maybe I really was just trying to act like happy and be joyful with him to get him in a good mood when really I wasn't feeling it either. So I guess he was just like, chill out. So I turned myself back around and got him to daycare. So when I arrived here at the doctor's office, I was kind of anxious, but I had been listening to some praise music. I put on some praise music on the way. It was like, let me try and get my mind right. Remember that God is in control of all of this, and like that I'm blessed, and that he didn't bring me this far to like leave me. All the songs helped me get my mind right. So I went in, and I was really nervous about getting weighed because of that dream and because of how I was feeling. And they did not weigh me. So if you've been watching, the last few videos, they've been weighing me every time. I'm just like, ugh. So they finally didn't weigh me today. And I was so thankful. And I was like, thank you, God. Like, I was like just praising him. And so then we did the ultrasound, and my lining looks good. It was an interesting experience today because they had a nurse practitioner who is new to the practice. She's from the OB/GYN world and now coming to the RE world. And so they had her do my ultrasound. And it's funny because I've always had a female gynecologist. And I remember people saying that women sometimes tend to be more gentle with the exams, I guess because they actually have these parts, whereas men sometimes seem a little rougher. So she was like so gentle. So it wasn't but I had mixed feelings about it because initially it was like, oh, okay, I barely feel her doing anything. But then it was like, it made it take too long because I feel like the male doctor, who is my normal doctor, he's a bit firmer. And so it's a little less comfortable, but it's way quicker because it's like he just goes in there, he knows where to aim the wand. He aims it, he gets the shots, and it's done. Where I felt like she was being so careful that it was taking her forever to get like the image lined up where she could read it. And I almost wanted to be like, just give it to him, let him just go ahead, because this at least is quick. Not that either are painful, but it was just an interesting experience. But ovaries, no issues showed. I couldn't see the images as well because I don't think she could capture them as well, but they definitely checked the lining a couple times, and he was showing her exactly how they measure it. So I know they saw what they really needed to see there, and the lining looked good. I forgot the numbers. I want to say they measured it twice. I think the second one was like 15. I guess it's millimeters. So all looks good. It seems as though the estrogen priming worked. And the next, I guess I'll pick up the video later on. I should be getting a call from them. They did blood work. It looked like they were testing for my estrogen level, my progesterone, to make sure everything's good. So once I get that call from the nurse, she'll be telling me exactly when to start my progesterone. So the other funny thing is, he was like, "Oh, probably have you started tomorrow," and I have to go back and look at my mock transfer calendar, but I know I started at night. I thought I did. I thought I started at night with the progesterone. But I just reminded him, like, are you sure? Because I thought it was at night. And then I said, when we did the ERA, I needed the extra 12 hours. And he was like, oh, yeah, so we have all that, and we'll, they'll count back and adjust for whatever, I guess, whatever time I get for the transfer, and to tell me when to start the progesterone. So all is well for now. I'll let you guys know when they call, or I guess better yet, I'll probably pick up the video depending on what time they tell me to do the progesterone and where that falls in our daily schedule with Baby Joy Chaser. I might pick the video back up with me doing my first progesterone injection. I didn't film doing the injection with the mock transfer because the time they had me scheduled for was also like around his bath time. So it was just a lot going on with me having him in the shower and then trying to do this shot before he came out, where I couldn't really like set up the camera and all that because, really got to get the right angle to show you guys how to do the shot, because it's like your kind of like your love handle area, like your upper buttocks or lower back. So, you don't want to be mooning people or showing more of your body than you need to. So that's not an easy thing to shoot, but so we'll see. But either way, I picked the video back up and let you guys know what's going on. But so far, so good. I feel better. I feel blessed right now. I'm trying to hold on to that. I'm working really hard on being in the moment and really surrendering things to God and not worrying so much. But y'all, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. This is a behavior that is a lifelong behavior that I have to change, and it takes effort and work, especially when part of that worrying nature has served me well, because it has helped me to be like prepared for things and not caught off guard for things. But more often than not, I'm worrying about things I don't need to. So I really need to let it go. But like I said, it's hard. So pray for me. So as of this moment, transfer should still be 10/13. Hopefully that doesn't change. You'll know by the end of the video. Stay tuned. Hey guys, so here we are, the next part of the video. So I'm about to do my progesterone shot. So that means that it was good news this morning when I got my call from my nurse. So I'm gonna do the shot now and I'll tell you guys more about the call. So, by the way, I don't think I've ever been in this room. This is supposed to be the bathroom the baby Joy Chaser uses. But I don't know if you guys can hear him in the background. He's actually in my bathroom right now showering. It is about 8:12. And they told me I should do my shot around 8 o'clock, plus or minus an hour window. So, and to try to stick to the same time each night. So my goal is going to be to start the process like a few minutes before 8. And so that way I'm taking my shot somewhere between 8 and 8:30 each day. Oh, of course I don't have a hand towel in this bathroom. Right back. Okay, I'm back. So first thing I did was wash my hands. It's been a minute since I did this. I did this a few months back for the ERA, and then before that, sorry, move his little stool out of the way. Before I did that, the last time I did it was back like 4 years ago, right? Before having him. So I'm definitely not a pro anymore. I have on shorts. Sorry, and my reminder alarm popped up. I have on shorts under here so I can show you guys without exposing myself. So I have an ice pack back here to numb up the area. And then I have the oil. I had it under my boob. So I'll talk to you guys all about that after. I'm trying to be quick. So take your alcohol wipe and you want to wipe off the top of this little bottle. Now my instructions is I'm supposed to do 2 ml. So one mistake I know not to make that I've made in the past is the syringe comes with the bigger gauge needle, right? So that has the bigger hole for drawing up the liquid, and then you have to switch to a smaller needle to actually inject yourself. So do not make the mistake, which I have made before, of sticking yourself with the big needle and there was blood everywhere. So I find it's helpful to actually draw up the syringe to where you need it before you plunge it in to the bottle, and then plunge it in and then push it back down, because then physics helps it to draw back up the liquid, because it can be kind of hard to draw the liquid up. And then you want to flip it over and then push it back down until you get what you need. Sorry if I'm not explaining this clearly, but so I do 2, and then take it out and then put the cap on. Buttercup is joining the video. I don't know if you guys can hear her whining. Then you take that top off. See, and I should have opened this one already, but I didn't. I use my teeth just on the plastic. All right. Then you twist the smaller needle on. Okay. Now, I'm gonna take my ice pack out. And the idea is to do like your upper butt area. I should have had them draw on me today. I forgot, but I kind of remember from before. So I'm aiming for right here. It's real cold, so it's pretty numb. And I'm gonna put in my 2 ml or 2 cc's. It's a big needle. Try not to spend a lot of time looking at it and intimidate yourself. So I do push up a little bit to get just that little teeny bubble. All right, and then it's, make sure I'm in the right spot. Push it in. And it goes. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Squeeze. I wish I had a steadier hand. That's one disadvantage of doing this yourself. If you don't have a steady hand like me, like I don't, I'm like wiggling around. I usually wait a second and then I pull it out and then I have my Band-Aid. You can see it's bleeding a little bit. Oh, and I just realized I forgot a step, but I'm sure I'll survive. Band-Aid on and all done. So, my first progesterone injection for embryo transfer is done. So I forgot I was supposed to take the alcohol and actually like wipe that area of my skin, but I forgot. So like I said, I'm not a pro at this. I'm sure I'll survive not having wiped my skin super clean. Buttercup wants to join the video. Yes, Buttercup. What's the problem? What is it? She's like, you're upstairs. You're supposed to be giving me rubs. So, just to backtrack on what I just did. So, the nurse called and she said everything looked good. I told you guys this morning the lining looked good. My estrogen was 7.2. My lining was 15.8. I told y'all I thought it said 15. And my progesterone was 0.55, which is great, which meant I didn't like ovulate through the estrogen priming. So she said, based on me needing the 12 extra hours, that I was supposed to do my shot at 8 o'clock tonight, plus or minus an hour, but try to do it at the same time each night. Baby's Ray Chaser typically goes to bed around 8, especially during the week. Well, we start the bedtime routine a little before 8. So I figure when I'm getting started with him to go to bed, that's when I'll start. And what I meant by start was I put the ice pack on, and that'll be until I can buy some lidocaine patches, which numb the area. They both work very similarly, just the lidocaine kind of stays in place better because it's sticky, but then it's harder. Sometimes it gets stuck to my fingers, so you know, 6 on one hand, half a dozen on the other. But I'll put that on to start numbing up my skin really good. And when it starts to be so numb that I can't feel that it's cold, that's when I know it's actually numbing the area. You saw my shot didn't really hurt. The next thing I do is put the bottle in my bra. And I was thinking about this when I was preparing for the video. Did y'all's mom make y'all pass the pencil test when y'all were little, well, I guess young girls, teenage girls? So I remember being in 5th grade and wanting a bra so bad because my classmates, I started to say coworkers, my classmates had bras, and my mom was like, but you don't need a bra yet. And I was like, but you know, so-and-so has a bra and this girl has a bra. And we went to a Christian school where we had to wear uniforms, so I could see through their blouse because everybody had the same yellow blouse that you could see through, so you could see who was wearing a bra and who wasn't. And so I wanted to be wearing a bra. And my mom said, well, you have to pass the pencil test. So she said, in order to really need a bra, you needed to be able to place a pencil under your boob and have it not fall out. So I don't know at what point I was able to pass the pencil test. Um, I convinced her to let me get a training bra before that. So she appeased me with like some half undershirts that had little lace. So that worked for 5th grade. I don't know when I actually really started needing a bra. Probably by the end of, probably between from 6th going into 7th grade. But anyway, I digress. What made me think of that is the bra I had on was like, you know, because now I'm more than past the pencil test. So I had on like a significant kind of bra with like a really good underwear, and I realized it was such a supportive bra that by me sticking the progesterone in my bra, it wasn't having enough contact with my skin to get warmed up. Because the idea is to warm the oil or whatever. Mine is progesterone and ethyl oleate because I had a reaction to the oil. To warm it up till it's like your skin temperature so it absorbs better. So I ended up having to take my bra off. That's why. So hopefully I didn't flash y'all when I was bending over. So I had put it, and then I put the oil underneath like the pencil test, which is what made me think of it. So I knew it was fully in contact with my skin, getting warmed up. And then I was careful to not let it fall out when I was bending over doing things. So the steps you're supposed to do is, numb your area with lidocaine patch or ice. Get your oil warmed up to skin temperature. Put it in your bra. I think is the best way to do it. Maybe for like 10 minutes or so. Then you take the alcohol wipe off the top of the oil where you plunge in your syringe. Open both of your needles, which I didn't do. I only opened one, then I had to open the other with my teeth. Before you do all that, wash your hands. I did do that part on camera. Then draw back the syringe that comes all together to get air, and so you can force the air into the progesterone bottle, because then it makes it easier to draw out the liquid because of you're putting all that extra air in, and whatever physics math that is, it happens to make it easier to draw out the liquid. Then put that cap back on that needle, twist it off, switch to the smaller gauge needle that you're going to actually use to stick in your skin. Then you want to use alcohol wipe to wipe the area of your body. You could probably do that before you start messing with the needles, actually, and let it dry. That's the step I forgot to do. But like I said, I'm sure I'll survive. I'll remember tomorrow. And then stick your needle in, and hopefully you have a more steady hand than mine where it doesn't move. My hand, I always feel it moving when I'm trying to press down the syringe to get all the oil out. And then I stuck a Band-Aid on. So that's that. And the time is 8:25, so perfect. My plan will be to make sure my shot is done every night between 8 and 8:30, which I think is perfect for what we're trying to do. So embryo transfer is on. For today is Thursday, October, I think it's the 7th. Oh, of course, now I can't see. Yes, the 7th. Sorry, October 7th. Transfer is scheduled for next Wednesday, the 13th. So I'm still praying at 10:13. Please join me. I don't know what time yet. It'll be between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. And so I was like, well, wait, does this starting at 8 take into consideration a 2-hour window? And she said, yes, it does. And then she specified that me needing an extra 12 hours of progesterone meant I needed 136 hours of progesterone. But that number is plus or minus 3 hours. So it's a 3-hour window on either side. So like I'm good. So that's it. And luckily baby Dre Chaser is still in the shower. I don't know if you can hear him making all kind of noise and singing and playing in there while I'm doing this. And so there you have it. So I showed you guys how to do a shot for the most part correctly. And should hopefully show it's not too bad. I don't like needles any more than the next person, but going through IVF definitely makes you feel like it's something you can deal with. So like I tell my son, and because I tell myself we can do hard things, right? So if you are dealing with fertility issues, or you're trying to become a single mom by choice, or shoot, honestly, if you're just a woman or a person of color, you can do hard things. We do hard things every day, and these shots are just another hard thing that we have to do to try to make our dreams come true of motherhood. So if anybody's out there super worried about doing a progesterone shot, know that it's just another hard thing that you can do. You don't have to love it, like it. You don't have to, get over, your aversion to needles per se. You're never going to love it or think that it's, duck soup or easy, but you can do hard things. So that is that. So I'll be doing the shot every night, and I'm still on the estrogen protocol. I need to look at the calendar to see when does the estrogen stop, because I don't remember that from before. I think I told you guys when I was doing the ERA cycle that I really did not remember doing the estrogen before, but I guess because it's just a little teeny pill and doing the needles is much more significant, that I remember that more. So the last thing, a lot of times it's good to like massage the area after you've done. So like I'm like rubbing my hip area, my butt area now. I think Simply Tanika, she had like this really cool like warming massager I saw when she did the video when she was doing her progesterone while she was on vacation. I forgot where she went, but I know she was in like this beautiful vacation home that she had rented, and I remember seeing her little heated massager, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But I said, oh, I should get that, but I never invested in it. But anyway, so that's the last thing. Over time, like I remember when I was pregnant before, I did start to bruise and get lumps all in my lower back, and it took a long time to go away. But you know what? I got my baby, and those lumps were gone after a while, so it's all worth it. Anyway, that's it for now. Stay tuned for the next video. I think the next TTC video might be about side effects from progesterone, because I know I'm guilty of symptom checking and have been in the past. I'm sure I'll do it again. And so sometimes it's good to note what are the symptoms of just the progesterone, because they're kind of the same as pregnancy. But anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. And if you watch to the end, right, because I like to do the emoji thing now, put an emoji of the needle in the comments so that people will see, be like, what is all these emojis about? I think it's cute. And if you guys are watching this as part of the premiere, thank you. Please thumbs up the video, and subscribe if you haven't. I always forget to say this stuff. Share it if you're in like some single mom by choice or TTC groups. If you think it's helpful or inspiring, please share. And if you're watching this in the premiere, go back to the comments of the regular video and put the needle in there, because I know the comments from the live chat disappear. So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.